What's up, family? Welcome back to the freaking channel, right, for another episode, guys. I hope you had a relaxing weekend and whatnot, right? It's Monday, but I know today was like riding one of those freaking wild bulls at the clubs, right? Man, that's how the market felt today. A lot of things going on behind the scenes, a lot of things that I gotta talk about, in my opinion, right? I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, so don't take it as that. Take it for entertainment purposes and whatnot and so on, right? Okay, so I gotta talk about, why the market dropped, guys. There is actually a lot of fear that popped up, right? And I think the news has been kind of like broke out over the weekend, right? So of course, when fear comes into the market, guys, right, you tend to see more of a sell-off, right? And we've already been in a sell-off, right, for, let's see, like 2 months, maybe a month for sure, right? January, we had a little fake out and then everything started to come down, right? But okay, so let's talk about AMC and whatnot, and why it's being affected as well, right? So let me paint the bigger picture for you guys. So we'll switch it up and we'll go look at this real quick. I'm not gonna really read it or nothing, but I just want to show you, this is the fear, right? Because of Ukraine and Russia and the possible, war there and invasion and whatnot. So right here, US places approximately 8,500 troops on alert for possible deployment amid Russia tensions. All right, and that's, it's gonna affect all the whole market, right? Because it's fear, it's negative news, right? That's coming in, and it is like new news to us, right? And so this is from CNN. I'll put the link in the description if you want to go read it. But I guess he talked about it today, and he's thinking about, getting prepared. All right, so that's the fear, right? But what we have to talk about for AMC is the T+2 settlement, right? So what does T+1, T+2, and T+3 mean, guys? We always want to learn and educate ourselves and do the due diligence, and this is what I got for you guys, right? And my money's in this with you guys, right? Okay, so I try to keep things positive, but I'm not happy either with what my portfolio looks like, right? But I'm always trying to pass this knowledge forward. All right, so check this out. When you buy or sell a stock, bond, exchange, or traded fund, a mutual fund, there are 2 important dates to understand: the transaction date and the settlement date. T is the transaction date. The abbreviations are T+1, T+2, T+3, refer to the settlement dates of the security transaction that occur on a transaction date +1 day, +2 days, +3 days, right? Until the whole transaction settles. A lot of people, and like this is how it relates to AMC, right? When we were buying on Friday, it didn't move the price because maybe they didn't settle. The trades won't show up until, let's see, tomorrow, right? Like they have until tomorrow to settle them. And that's why, people need to understand that too, that's why we weren't able to really move the price. Like just because you get that notification that you got the share, the credit or whatever, right? That's because the transaction takes a couple days to settle, all right? And that's just the way it is. That's the way the system works right now, guys. As its name implies, the transaction date represents the date on which the actual trade occurs. For instance, if you buy 100 shares of a stock today, and then today is the transaction date, the date doesn't change whatsoever, as it will always be the date on which you made the transaction, right? In order to clear the transfer of a security from a seller to a buyer, it must go through a settlement process, which creates a delay between the time a trade made T and when it settles. Historically, a stock trade could take as many as 5 business days to settle a trade, right? So when we've been, buying, sometimes, they might not even settle these trades for days, all right? And that's my point. Today, with the advances in technology and electronic trading, most stock trades take just T+2, but maybe they won't process them, right? In my opinion, maybe they don't process them for a reason, right? So if we do see, what I think is happening, I think they're processing, they're kind of like spreading those orders out, right? Because look at the volume, it's at 81 million today, right? Where's that volume coming from, right? I mean, the price was down at the peak, it was down 19%, guys. So for the day, it was down 7.5%, recovered a little over half, right? So let's go back to this real quick. However, the settlement date is a little trickier because it represents the time in which the ownership is transferred. It is important to understand that it doesn't always occur on the transaction date and varies depending on the type of security. Treasury bills, for example, are one of the few securities that can be transacted and settled on the same day. Why delay the actual settlement? In the past, security transactions were done manually rather than electronically. Investors would wait for the delivery of a particular security, which was an actual certificate form, right? It's not like that anymore. And payment happened upon receiving the certificate. Yeah, and so on, right? So if you buy or sell a security with the T+2 settlement on Monday, and we assume there are no holidays during the week, the settlement date will be Wednesday, not Tuesday. Oh, all right. So the settlement date. So if we see buying pressure, right, we see this volume. That means that they took our orders on Friday and they spread them out, and that's why you see this high volume, right? Now I'll show you other things like the order flow, right? Not every security will have the same settlement periods. All stocks and most mutual funds are currently T+2. However, bonds and some money market funds will vary between T+1, T+2, and T+3. Here we go. So if you buy shares of Microsoft on Friday, June 2nd, while your broker would debit your account for the total cost of the investment immediately after your order is filled, your status as a shareholder of Microsoft will not be settled in the company's record books until Tuesday. Therefore, the settlement day is the date upon which you become a shareholder of the record. Now, the weekends and public holidays are not included. In this case, if Monday was a public holiday, the settlement date would be Wednesday, June 7th. All right. So, yeah. So even though, right, this just proves it that there is, manipulation as well as with AMC, right? Because we were, I mean, that's all I saw on social media, guys. Everybody was buying, right? And they didn't let us get to the levels that we wanted to, all right? But we're still in the play, guys. Like, I'll show you more data right now, right? Why my conviction doesn't change, right? Like, nothing has really changed but the price with AMC. And then, if you're just playing with dividends, that's why you also have to know this, because you have to get in by a certain date. All right. So let's see. Let's go on to just, AMC. As far as the chart, guys, this is what I'm talking about. I don't know. I mean, to me, this kind of looks like this was when they started processing some of the orders, right? Releasing some of the pressure, getting that going, right? So we had a huge drop when the news dropped, right? I remember we drew this on Friday, and so it broke that, and then you had a massive drop, right? A gap. Come down. That gap was pretty much filled right here with this push, right? When we moved above the VWAP. This is the VWAP. And so I like the way it closed because it closed into strength, right? So we got to see what happens with if we see that continue volume. Look, because volume is normally 43 million. And even though there was a lot of fear today, volume was 81 million, right? And this is the 3-minute chart, right? And what I want to point out over here is the order flow, which like, how does this happen, right? I think this is what I'm saying. Like, they're processing the orders right now, because look at the inflow, 215 million versus 193 million. Look at all the retail orders, right? We didn't decide we were going to buy today, right? When we were all buying on Friday. So 75 to 64, right? And then large institutions were buying 4 to 2, 4.51 on the outflow. But look, we were down negative 7.46%, right? So we can go back to the daily chart real quick. What I want to point out is also the average cost, guys. Like, the average cost, that means the apes were buying and they averaged down, because it used to be around like 40 some dollars, right? And now it's telling me it's 22.79 is the average cost distribution, is what I see. All right. So yeah, let's just take a look at the daily chart here, guys. Let me delete this. The volume increased, right? Because we started pushing, right? We started buying this thing Friday and Saturday, or Friday and today, actually, it looks like, right? So that's what I want to point out, right? The volume increase. That's what you need to reverse this thing, right? And you see the support lines, this is the Fibonacci. And that's why you see it bounce right here, right? And everyone, always talks about the gaps. Well, guess what, guys? This thing dropped to 14 in the morning, 1440. I'm thinking all the gaps are filled, right? I mean, there shouldn't be any more gaps to fill here, which would indicate a reversal, right, guys? So that's what I want to point out. So we need to see that volume start to step in. And remember, we have the SEC vote this week to see if they're going to crack down on these guys and start putting more pressure on the transparency and for them to report. What I keep telling you guys is that I like where the RSI is at, because we need to see a reversal. Like, it's already oversold, right? So that's all I really want to point out on the chart. Let's just go ahead and look over to the options chain, right? At the options chain for this coming week, there's not too much going on there. All there really is you know, more call. There's more possibilities for this to run. What I would want to see, guys, is it, you know, if the SPY keeps moving up, right? Because it reversed today. That's what helped it also push up, was the SPY, right? And there's the goal for me, guys. What I want to say is, like, if we can get this above $23, there's a lot less pressure there, right? A lot less selling pressure. So if we can, by the end of Friday, if that's possible, it's possible, right? But if it's gonna happen, I don't know. I'm telling you guys, I'm not a financial advisor, but I just kind of give you my opinion of like where this thing is going. And yes, I hold my shares, guys, because I believe that it will squeeze. And also, it's just funny to me how there's just so many people out there that like attack the AMC shareholders and tell them to sell their stock. Like, what is that? Like, I don't see that with a lot of other stocks, right? Like, of course, the meme stocks, but like, they don't just tell you, oh, sell your Amazon, sell it. It's a bad, right? It's a bad investment. Like, no, it's really always about GME and AMC. So yeah, I mean, the calls, like I said, you know, they go all the way to 60, but there's not a lot of volume. I mean, there's not a ton, right? So the most has 13,000 there. But overall, over here, when we go to the Stonko tracker, I'll show you there's just not a lot of volume. Like, there was way more last week, right? So $20 is max pain for the week. And then naked shorting, right? If you go to the naked short report, guys, I mean, they always short more as the volume goes up. And then yeah, so not a lot of volume there, all right, guys. So let me close this out with a couple screenshots here of the Ortex data, all right? And I'm not just gonna go through the normal just utilization stuff like that. I'm gonna point some things out. All right, so this right here is the security lending volume, right? So what I want to point out, guys, and in the back you can see the price. So obviously they have been attacking us, right? The current percent is 20%. They owe 103 million shares. But what I'm pointing out is the security lending volume. That means that more shares are being lent out because they're shorting it as the price comes down, right? That means they're attacking us. More and more and more hedge funds are coming at us, right? And that's why you see this dramatic price drop. So let me do the next one. Here we go. This one has and I don't have a subscription, guys, but sometimes if you go in there, you can get some free views, right? So I just took some screenshots. Failed to delivers, guys. I have talked about this on my channel, right? And what I want to show you guys is here, right? Failed to delivers on the rise, guys. Even in January, right? We're starting to see that come up. That's good for us because there's more and more problems with the transactions. And as they shorted us too, right? What happens when they go hard, right? All of a sudden you have all these failure to delivers that start to pile up, okay? Next. This is as high as it's been in a while, right? It's staying up here. This is the exchange reported short interest. They're attacking us, guys, right? You see this right here? You see when this dramatic price drop? Look at what happened because they're attacking us and going harder and shorting, right? Like, that's why you see that 60% volume, 70% volume of the short volume, right? And then this is the last one. It's just the days to cover, right? The days to cover has gone up. It's at the high right now, right? This green line. Okay, so guys, that's what you need to focus on if you want to, you know, end up being in this play and the squeeze, guys. That's what I look at, not just the price, because that's why they can trick you, right? They can play with your emotions when they take you from 40 to 16, when they take it from 72 to 16, right? And they teased you with all that money that was in your account, and if you're holding, right, it's now down, right? It's not the same value. I get it. But hang in there, guys. That's my perspective. I'm holding, and we're all holding, right? So let's ride this baby out, and let's stick together and work together, and like as a family, right? Because we're all looking out for each other, right? So yeah, thank you guys for coming back. I'll see you later.